G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back for another episode of Space Survival. Okay, so last week's episode I kind of got, taken for a ride by these Reavers, and they really destroyed a lot of things around the base. So today I want to kind of focus on getting everything repaired and then installing the build and repair system, which I have configured on this one here. And so anyway, let's have a look at the settings for this build and repair that I've put in here. So essentially, the area of effect here is 25 meters by 25 meters by 25 meters. So yeah, it worked out quite well. But if we have a look in the settings here, there are some key settings that I've changed. So obviously block is on. I've got show on HUD. I might just turn that off for now. I've put it on to fly mode, world before grind. There is an ignore color, which I don't even know what that is currently at. Maybe it's some sort of pink or something like that. So it will build all of these things. That's fine. Not too sure if I want to disable any of those things. I don't think I want to. I do have a grind color here as well. So I turn this off. Janitor grinds enemy blocks and janitor grinds not owned blocks, because I don't really want it to go and attack ships. And then also what I did is I haven't disabled any of these. Set that to furthest first. I have disabled it from collecting ores, so I've turned all of these off so it won't collect anything. And then obviously I've gone to show area. We've done the area width, depth, and I've reduced the sound volume down to 15%, although I might need to adjust that at another stage, because yeah, this mod does tend to be quite loud, especially when I've got like the sneaky sounds mod turned on, which kind of minimizes the sound from my own welder and grinder. So in comparison, it is quite, yeah. So what I'm going to do to test it out is I'm just going to grab some steel plates, and then we'll just go ahead. Actually, what else is on my inventory? Nah, we got a whole bunch of other random stuff. That's fine. We can dump that into the inventory and see how it goes. All right, so let's pop it in here and see how it goes. So it should start welding stuff up, although it's not. What have I done? Oh, you got to be kidding me. I had the thing turned off. Alright, let's turn it on, and now it should weld stuff up. So I also went and disabled the area, so yeah, it should just go ahead and repair all these blocks as well without actually displaying the area that it's affecting. So we'll see how this goes. Now, I do remember in my last Wasteland Survival series, I did go ahead and edit the config files of this mod to change it so that the weld speed was like more akin to this welder that I'm holding right now, so the elite welder, because this is about 5 times faster at welding stuff up than the stock welder. And if I'm not mistaken, this mod here is based upon that stock welder, the very first one that you get, the beginner one. So I want it to weld as fast as this welder here, because if it's going to weld really slow, that's not really going to be that useful to me. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, well, I thought the weld speed was kind of set incorrectly, but it turns out what I'm missing here is steel plates. So I'm going to dump another 500 steel plates into this thing and see what it does. The one thing I'm concerned about is, really, I don't have any steel plates left?
Energy critical.
Alright, fine. Let's put 3,000 onto production. Okay, so we'll just put those into it. What I'm concerned about here is the settings that I had set in my previous series were world specific and not global. So we'll have to see if that is actually the case. So let's dump those steel plates into there and see what happens. So I want to see how fast it repairs this block here. Or maybe that one up there. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty quick. I think, judging by that block there being welded up, I think it has been set globally. So it should work in this world as well. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens, and wait for it to get attacked the next time, and see if the speed of the welding can keep up with the destructive capabilities of the Reavers. So yeah, that's going to be interesting, but we'll see how we go. Alright, so moving on to the next task. So obviously I need to put one of those build and repair systems into that tower over there. But the main thing I need to do is get this one here repaired. So I dare say the build and repair system is going to have to live here somewhere. No, I need some steel plates. Honestly, I think it might be worth me orientating the build and repair system this way. So let me just grab one. Here we go, build and repair. And I might orientate it in this direction, because then I can run a conveyor behind this cargo container. Then we'll have the build and repair system, and then we'll have a conveyor port here, of which we can then drill down to the asteroid, or through the asteroid, and then connect up to that conveyor system that is somewhere in the middle here, if that makes sense. So, alright, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place down the build and repair, and then from there we can go ahead and use this ship, load it up with all its components that I need it to get that welded up, and then we can get this whole thing started and finished. Okay, well, I have set up the build and repair system, so that should be all good to go. Looks like I am missing a reinforced conveyor tube there though. So what I'm going to do is probably repair a few of these items by hand. And what I can see now is only what I can actually build. So it is interesting why these blocks here aren't popping up. That's a bit weird. Why is there not a block here? I would have thought that I could place that down. Oh, that's a bit weird. So I'm going to probably do these blocks down here by hand. Also not sure why the block there doesn't show up, but that's alright. So I'm going to repair a lot of this by hand, and then come in with the weld ship and do the weapons and things like that with the weld ship. Well, it's not really a weld ship. It's kind of like a pseudo weld ship. So, but anyway, you guys get the idea. Alright, well, as far as I can tell, everything is built. Looks like I might be missing a few blocks here and there. Yeah, just a few. I was able to get most of it with the weld ship. I decided to repair some of this stuff with the weld ship. And then also, I think it makes it a little bit easier when you just set the projector to only display what can be built, because then, yeah, it's a little bit easier to see what needs to be built and what doesn't, or what already has been built. So I think all the components should be here for this thing. No, it doesn't look like they are. Okay, let's grab them from the world ship. First, I'm going to dump all of the components I have on me into there. Let's get this welded up. The only bad thing as well is that I've lost all of the ammunition that was stored in here too. So, alright, let's go to our projector and just see what is actually remaining. So, what do we have? Projector left. So I've got beam blocks and armor blocks. So it looks like everything is sort of finished. So let's get rid of this block here. And then let's just search here for incomplete. No, we don't have anything that's incomplete. Well, as far as I can tell. But the conveyor system is kind of hidden. Alright, so I'm going to place this block back just to connect this grid up again. I believe the conveyor blocks are behind here. So let's grind this block here. So that's connected. That's green. That's green. Okay, so let's try and get out from here. And I just need to go around and just check all of these blocks. So let's try and grind this out as well. Alright, so that one's green, and that one's green, so that one there is fine. Replace this block. Let's go over and check this one. Hope we don't grind down the turret. Green, green, and green. So we're all good there. Please let me out. Let's get this welded up. Right, and the final one to check is this one here. I think this one should be fine though. Let's just check that one, and that one. All green. Fantastic. Alright, cool. And then we have our... What is that? That's a conveyor sorter. So that's green. That's looking good. Alright, cool. So I think we are good to go. So now, all I need to do is go ahead and repair this one down here. Although, to be honest, I might just leave this one for now. I might actually just... Yeah, I might get rid of it. And then replace it with two like I've got up here. And then kind of have them sitting vertically. Like the ones up there are. So have one there and then one there as well. Or maybe just a little bit further down. So I don't think I'll repair that one. I will leave it for now. I'll just leave it there, but I won't repair it per se. So at least it will be kind of semi-useful. And then, so let's go and find our build and repair, and let's turn that on. So build and repair system, let's turn that on. Alright, so it looks like it's going to go through and repair some of the blocks. Looks like there might be a few blocks that have sustained some damage. I need to actually tell it not to... Is it repairing blocks or is it building new blocks? Interesting. Okay, so now from here I need to... I'm going to grind down probably this block here. This one. I'm going to have to get to... So there's our conveyor. Light armor block. Reinforced conveyor tube. Alright, cool. There is our... what would I call it? Let me out. That's our cargo container. So on top of that, or below it, I guess which way you want to look at it, I'm going to put one of those build and repairs, which I think is pretty obvious at this point. Alright, so let's find one and add it to our inventory, or the build planner. Alright, that's on the build planner, so let's go ahead and weld that up. What is this thing doing? Must be doing a fair few repairs. Oh, looks like I've got a missing block there. That's alright. Alright, well, as you can see, the build and repair system is on this second turret installation, so that's good to go. That's turned on. I've set the range to be the same as the rest of them, which is 25 meters. I think it's just kind of repairing blocks at this point. I'm not sure what it's repairing. But yeah, we need to put some components in there. Oh yeah, there's quite a bit of repairs to be made here. We have 68%. Do I have any steel plates on my inventory? Yeah, I do. Alright, so I'm going to transfer them into the cargo here. And the build and repair system can use those to repair some things around here and maybe repair that stuff. Yeah, there we go. Now it's repairing all this stuff. Fantastic. Alright, cool. So, now all I need to do is load up this ship here, this little weld ship, with some ammunition so that we can put that into the inventory of this turret installation, and then load it up with components so that I can then transfer some steel plates and a whole bunch of other little bits and pieces to those turret installations as well. Now, the one thing that's disappointing is, well, could I use this thing to do it? I suppose I could if I just put a random connector on the side there. I think that might be the better way to, yeah, the better way to go, because this thing can hold a lot more cargo than what this thing can. So instead of making 3 trips with this, I only really need to make 1 trip with that. So yeah, there is that too. And I might put a connector on the end here after I get rid of some of these conveyors so that I can connect this thing up pretty easily to the base. Alright guys, welcome back. So I kind of realized that maybe my time would be better spent if I just run the conveyors now back to the cargo system on my base. So what we have here is we have a gap between these two. If I include the middle block here, which is this block over to this block here, which is essentially the middle of both of these towers, and where the build and repair system basically sits, that is 29 blocks. So I'm going to have to go 29 blocks across. So I think what I'll do is I'll have to go quite deep though. So as you can see, we have quite a large canyon here. So I'm going to need to go at least, well, let's just double check this. I think that's roughly where the build and repair system sits. So let's maybe go back. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And let's just say we'll go back about 25 blocks just to be safe. I might even go 30 blocks back. And then I will run a bunch of blocks across. So we'll go 30 out from this point, and then a bunch of blocks across, and then that should join up the two kind of tunnels. So I'll make kind of a drill guide for myself, as I've usually done. So we'll go 25 blocks deep on either side, then we'll join the two conveyor systems up, and then we'll go straight down. But first I need to actually drill that stuff out. So once I've figured out, alright, so let's maybe try and do this. Where am I actually going to do this? Where am I going to build my template? I want to build it somewhere where it's not kind of attached to everything else. I may go... Where am I going to build this? Where am I going to build this? Alright, well I think I've figured out where I'm going to build this thing. I'm just going to build it off of this framework here, and because I have unsupported stations, I can grind this block here, and then kind of join everything back up again. So I'll get rid of this block. Alright, so as you can see, I've gone forward about 10 blocks, then I've branched out the 29 blocks, and then I've gone the 25 blocks away from that. So the conveyor system will run kind of all the way down there, and then if we get rid of these two blocks here, so I'll get rid of this one and then this one too, and then we will kind of, so those blocks are running all the way down here, and what I'll do is I'll run them all the way down to where the midpoint of this little defense tower is. Well, not, I guess you wouldn't really call it a tower, would you? Let me just run some blocks from there out to here to make sure I'm at the right level. There we go. Okay, so we are at the right level, so I'm going to grind these away. Okay, now let's get rid of this block here. Man, my throat today, I swear. I have to keep clearing it, and I don't really want to do that off camera, so I cut those bits out. Alright, so now we have our template. So that is... oh wow, that's going to be so many... how would I call it? So many conveyors. It's just insane. Alright, well, let's create a blueprint of this. So Control B, and let's call this, let's rename it to drill guide asteroid base, and then towers. Yep, that'll do. Alright, cool. So now, if I escape that, how many blocks is that? Let's go to F10.
Energy low.
Asteroid base towers. 117 blocks. So that's going to be 117 conveyors to get it connected up to the rest of the base. That is an insane amount of conveyors. Let's hook this back up again. So we'll hook it up there. And we'll hook it up there as well. Like that. At some point, I'm going to have to actually get rid of all this stuff, but yeah, we'll get there eventually. Alright, let's just connect it back up here as well. And I think that's connected. I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Okay, so now I have to configure a projector to actually get all this stuff lined up. So yeah, that's going to be rather challenging. Alright, let's... is this connected to the main base in any fashion? Not really. Okay, let me get the components for a projector and I'll get this lined up off camera because it's going to take me a while, I think. Okay, so I have my drill guide kind of in position here. It's a little bit hard to see. Well, actually, it's kind of impossible to see it because it's all hidden behind the mountain. But essentially, I lined it up this way. And then I could see the blocks sticking out the middle of these turrets here. And so from that point, I just moved it another 6 blocks down into the down into these towers. And yeah, so now if I kind of cheat a little bit and use the spectator camera, you can kind of see what it looks like. So let me just try and press the right buttons here. So yeah, as you can see, it kind of bypasses this whole... what's that? There's a little bit of a pocket there. That's interesting. So yeah, as you can see, it runs from the back of those 2 towers. It's a little bit hard to see. You can see the silhouette here. And then from there it goes back another 10 blocks and then goes all the way down to this point here. So I basically need to count how many blocks up I've got to go to get to that point there. So yeah, and then I need to drill up. I think I might drill up into this space here, or maybe I'll try and get behind this conveyor here. I don't know. I think maybe the best bet would be to drill down here. So I think temporarily what I'll do is I will grab my character and I will move the blueprint down by... so it's at 19. Let's go for like, you know, 45 or something like that. And then I should see it pop out through the roof here. Yep, there we go. Okay, so let's grind this block out. And let's drill all the way up. What the heck? That is weird. Why is it... how did I damage those blocks? Alright, let's drill upwards. And then at some point we should reach the conveyors. Okay, so I've drilled through and I've reached my conveyors. So I'm going to get rid of this one here. And then I'll go back out. And then I will go ahead and move this blueprint back to 19. So let's go like this. Grab this. Change this back to 19. And now everything will perfectly line up. So now I have a boatload of drilling and building to do. I'm not sure if I really want to time-lapse this. I may or may not do so, but we'll see how we go. Alright, cool. And we are finally done. That took me a little while, probably about 15, 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour. I can't exactly remember how long that took me. But yeah, as you can see, this is starting to weld stuff up. Now, the one thing I need to do is I need to make sure that all of these turrets here can actually target small grids, because a lot of these weren't actually built before. As you can see, we've got a Reaver Butcher over there, and we have a Reaver Mutilator over there. Wow, that is quite a decently sized ship. So hopefully he doesn't get too close. All right, let's just check all of these turrets. So we've got our Radans. What are these set to? So these are set to 2,000 meters. So let's just do that. Set those all to 2,000 meters. Now, what do we have here? Target characters is off. Target small ships is on. On. Neutrals off. Stations on. Enemies on. Enable target locking. Use conveyor system. Yep, that's fine. Okay, let's find our goalkeepers. So looks like we only have 2 of those. Okay, that's fine. Let's set those both. Idle movement off. Target rockets. Do I want to set that to on? No, we'll set that to off. The reason why I'm switching this on and off is because sometimes, like when one of the group has a certain setting, it will display it here even though the other turret doesn't have that setting. So I am going to flick these settings on and off. That's fine. And then we have our Orlicans. So I'll select all of those. They're both on. Set those to 1600 meters. Target meteors is off because we don't have any. Target rockets is off. Target small ships, yes. Target large ships. Characters. Target stations. That's off. And that's on. Okay, fantastic. And then, what else do I have? I have... What are these? These are the Radans, and then these are the pacifiers. So the pacifier... I believe this one will be set to like something ridiculous. So let's find our pacifiers. So we want those to be, let's go for 2000. Okay. Target small ships is on, large on, that's off. And so on and so forth. You know, the same sort of thing that I've done 100 times before. Well, before this point anyway. Alright, so now all of these things should have ammunition. So which one is this? This is cannon number 5. So let's just make sure that that actually has ammunition. I'm pretty sure it does. So cannon 5. So we've got our pacifier. Why have we got 2 cannon 5s? Inventory. Cannon 5. Alright, so it looks like we've got artillery shells in both. Radan assault cannon 5. Okay, yeah, so we've got 2 of them. Okay, fantastic. So it looks like we have ammunition in everything. Everything is powered. Now these things should actually be charged by the nuclear reactor, which is nice. So now what we can do is we can get rid of this thing, because we don't need it no more. I'm going to get rid of this thing as well. What I would like to do is I would really like to build some sort of a projection system so that when these things do get damaged, then the build and repair systems actually have a blueprint to go off to actually repair them. And so in the meantime though, I think I'm going to get rid of all these blocks because I don't think I really need them anymore. Alright, cool. So the front of the base is looking pretty clean now that I've gotten rid of all those blocks. I was about to get rid of this whole bunch of shenanigan blocks here, but I think I'm going to leave it because I will probably end up using this for a drill guide later on. So I'm going to leave that behind. Any other drill guides that I need for like conveyor systems and bits and pieces like that I can always sort out later. Oh, that's weird. I thought there was a little bit of a weird thing going on there, but nah, it seems alright. Okay, so these 2 are plumbed up. As I said before though, I might change this one down here. So maybe I can move them down. I want to have them at about the same spot as those 2 there, but maybe I'll place one over this side and one over this side as well. The only problem is the terrain is kind of not really even, so it's going to be a little bit interesting doing that. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to leave that to later. And yeah, we'll kind of go from that point. Now, I would really, did I say really? Yeah, I mean really would like to get started and, well, restarted on actually finishing off this room because, yeah, I just want to get it done, finally. Alright, so, only thing I've got left to do in here, man, it feels like I've been away from this room for so long that I've honestly forgotten where I was at. So, I think, what are these called? Have I renamed these the correct name? No, I haven't. Alright, so I need to rename them the correct name. And then we need to change the color of those to this blue, and then mess around with those settings. and yeah, kind of go from there. And then I also need to figure out what I'm going to do for the roof, where I'm going to put these lights so that we have a little bit more even distribution. I think I might move them that way by 1 block, and then we've got a little bit more even distribution. And I would like to, I believe, well, I'm thinking about it, I would really like to put some lights underneath the floor here in the center so that we have kind of a blue glow coming from here as well. So yeah, that's another thing that I would like to do as well. So okay, so I have about 20 of those inset lights in that room there. So in order to figure out which ones they are, what I'm going to do is grind down these ones here so that they will be incomplete. And then I can go ahead and rename the other ones in that room to the correct name. Well, when I say correct name, not really the correct name, but the name that I want to call them. So I believe... Alright, let's go have a look at our inset lights. Yeah, you can see the ones that are incomplete. So I'm going to name these probably production room accent, probably wall accent light 1 through whatever, 1 through 20. Alright, so let's do that. Okay, so they're all renamed. I'm going to go off the basis of this light here. I think it's wall accent light 18. Wait, what does it say? Inset light 7. Okay, obviously it hasn't caught up yet to what I've renamed them to. Alright, so let's select all of the ones that I want. And I'm going to change the color. So that was 80. So I'll move this and then we'll set this to 150. The radius we'll set to... I might go for 13. Fall off is 2.0. I know somebody mentioned that I should probably dial up the intensity, and I may actually do that, but I think what I may do is I might push forward the offset. So we'll go 2.5 meters away from where the light actually is. And okay, let's have a look at what that looks like. Yeah, now we're talking. So now the what is it? The brightness seems to be a little bit high, so I may even reduce that a little bit. Perhaps we can change that too. So let's have a look here. Wall accent light, production room. Let's maybe dial down the brightness a little bit. Intensity 5. Oh, no wonder it's so bright. So let's change that to 0.8. Okay, yeah, now it's back to being pretty bad. So I may even... That person who commented might actually be right. I might have to adjust that and turn it up. Actually, let's go for wall accent. Wait, did I change all of them? Ah, that's alright. Usually I go for 0.8 anyway, so let's go maybe 1.2. Maybe... You know what? Let's go 2. What does that look like? Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. It's not too in your face, but it is noticeable. So, okay. What I'm going to do next is fill all of this in with... wow, that is pretty bright from here. Yeah, I'm going to fill all of this in with the beam blocks that I was planning to put in there in the first place. Where is the cargo container? And I also need to weld up these light armor blocks as well. Ooh, do I have enough materials on me to do that? No, I don't. Alright, cool. So all of our beam blocks are done. So the side of the room is looking pretty sweet. I am not really liking the radius of these lights very much. I would really like to change that a little bit. Maybe dial it down a bit and have a little bit more of a blue coming through here, because as you can see, a lot of the floor is blue in this room, but in this room a lot of it is just kind of lit up with these lights here on the roof. Now I did mention that I wanted to, and let me just grab some materials here for some conveyor junctions. Let's go for these ones. Now I did mention that I wanted to move these lights over by 1 block, so probably put them about there. I think that would be a good place to start. But then also what I want to do is I want to make some visual pipe work in this room, because I feel like, yeah, quite often I hide the pipe work behind underneath floors and bits and pieces like that. And I don't necessarily want to do that this time. So what I was thinking is putting in some curved conveyor pipes and then putting in the T-junctions here, because we didn't have access to these before. And actually, I can't remember if I had access to these in the last series. I think I did, but I honestly just can't remember. So I think I want to put in some pipe work up here. Now obviously on the bottom I'm going to have to join them up to something, but I think that should be fine. But so here I think I'm going to go for these ones here, or do I go for these ones here? So we've got these pipes, which I could spin that way. I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna see what they look like when they're joined up together. Yeah, you can see this one is much wider. This is more of a pipe that you would join to a wall. So I think in this instance I'm gonna go for maybe a pipe that looks like this. So just that one there, and then we'll just kind of spin it around. I always keep hitting the wrong keys here, so one like that, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do the same on the other side. It makes sense to kind of put them like this, rather than spinning the block 1,000 times to get it placed right all the time, if that makes sense. Right, so they're all placed down. Now let's get them welded up, and then I just need to run a pipe from this cargo container here to this conveyor, although I think at this point I'm going to refrain from doing so, because yeah, I need to hook up these. Now the question is, do I run a pipe from here that goes to this point, put in a T-junction, and then run a pipe that goes to here and then to here, and then somehow join these ones up? Or do I just... Well, actually, I don't even think there is a conveyor port underneath the floor on these things. So I think the only way I'm going to get these things connected to each other and to the rest of the base is to run a conveyor underneath, or from here to here. Let me just double check these assemblers here. Do I have the materials to actually build one? I'm not sure if I do. So what have we got? We have our industrial refinery. No, I want one of these. Survival kit. So we have our industrial assembler. Yeah, so the only cargo ports on those is on the side. So I'm going to have no choice but to connect them up via that method. So for that... Now, I've always really wanted this block. I want... why can't I place one there? Oh, there's a... That's weird. Not sure why that block was there. Anyway, as I was saying, I really want a block like this, but with this thick side where my cursor is on that side as well. But unfortunately, and same with this, like it's got a flange on this side, but it doesn't have a flange on that side. So the only pipe I'm going to be able to use is this one here, which kind of exposes a little bit of the conveyor port there, which is not really ideal, but it's the only block that I've got. I suppose I could do that. I could put in one of these. That has a like a flange on both sides. This one definitely does, but that's not going to work. Neither is that. The cap looks pretty cool, but can't really be used in this situation. Don't really want to use this block because it only transmits cargo in one direction. No pun intended. Yeah, so maybe I use this. The T-junction. And even though the T doesn't do anything, it still kind of looks a little bit better because it has a flange on both sides. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Alright, so let's just think about this here. So, alright, so we want, let's grab our pipe. Again, you know, none of this stuff really matters, but to me, I really like dealing with the aesthetic of things. I really like to make things look good. So, what do we have here? Yeah, so again, the T-junction has a flanged end there. But what am I going to do here? I'm going to have to go for that, which is not really what I want. But I need to also change that to a conveyor junction. Alright, let's do this. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. What is in this cargo container? Let's get rid of that. Let's change that to a junction. So we'll do that now. Yep, like that. So that's now a junction. Let's put a... Actually, you know what? I'm going to grind it out and then I'm going to spin it upside down so that the conveyor word is hidden. No, it doesn't really matter, but why not do it while we're here? Okay, so I'm going to have to put... Oh, well, it kind of is hidden anyway, so yeah, it's alright. Let's put... See, I could put one of these and then another one on that side. But no, I want to go a T-junction here. So what do we got? We got our T-junction. Then we have our conveyor. Just a regular straight conveyor. Could put in one of those. Maybe spin it that way. Maybe move it that way. Or maybe we could use one of these. Yeah, they kind of look the same on both sides. We'll go for that. Let's get these two welded up. Now I can kind of use this as my cargo container. Oh, cool. That's going to grab some stuff. Actually, what I want to do is turn this off because this doesn't have yield modules on it, so I don't want this thing to refine just yet. That's one thing that I need to do is go ahead and actually, you know, put the yield modules on these things, but it's alright. I kind of want to have the space behind them to, yeah, get this stuff sorted out. Okay, so... Or do I put the T-junction here? That's alright. I think we'll just leave it there against the wall. Yep, I think we'll do that. Okay, and then I will grab some more conveyors. Place one like that. One like that. And then... Wait, no. Gonna put one like this. And then we'll have our T-junction. Wait, no. We don't want a T-junction. We want pipe flanged. Then we want our T-junction. So, T-junction. And then... There's only one block in between those two, so... That's just going to have to be a conveyor pipe. And then we'll have a... Another T-junction. Yep, that'll do. Then we'll have... I think I went for this way.
Energy critical.
And then... This way, and then a T-junction here. Yep, T-junction like so. But that's alright. I'm going to leave that one for now because I kind of need to... Yeah. I need to convert that into a conveyor junction. But I still want to kind of use that as cargo for the moment. Okay. Well, that basically concludes the... well, most of it. Concludes the conveyors for these assemblers at least. I still need to run a conveyor from here to here. But what I will do first is I'm going to dump everything on my inventory. We shall grab a whole bunch of conveyor tubes. Small steel tubes. Looks like I've run out of those. Which is odd because I swear that I built some before. So we'll go for another 2,000 of those. That's fine. Now, what do we have here? We've got... let's try and... interior plates. Okay, interesting. Let's go for number 3 because that is the main one. Alright, let's build 2,000 interior plates. Fine. We shall do that. Now, let's see what's in this cargo container. Nothing. Let's get rid of it. Let's replace that with a conveyor junction that faces upside down. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm a little bit annoying with my orientation of those blocks, but that's fine. So let's put in a T-junction. Like this. And then, what did I put on the other side? I can't really remember. I think I put a... yeah, flanged pipe, but with the flange on the assembler itself. Or the refinery, I should say. So, for 3. And then we'll spin this around. Like I said, I wish there was a pipe with a flange on both sides. Call me a perfectionist, but I really wish that was the case. And there we go. So now I have 2 refineries. Whoop, we got to turn this one off because it's going to refine stuff when I don't want it to, because I don't have the right modules on it. But now these assemblers here should be working. Although I don't think they are, because I have not set them to be in cooperative mode. So cooperative mode is enabled on this one. Let me just go ahead and set it for all of these. Okay, so what I've done is I've set this one to be my master assembler. As you can see, if I go into the production menu, this one always shows up as first. So I think it makes sense to make this my master assembler. Now, I don't know why this assembler here isn't sending stuff to any of the other... Oh, of course, because this is... So I want to turn this off. Okay, so now it's going to send stuff to the other assemblers. Now that assembler, if you guys remember, is actually sitting out there, which is fine. Now, the other question is, do I want to allow, or do I want to put... yeah, actually, you know what? What I am thinking about doing is putting a staircase down here. I can't put it here because that pipe is there. I can't put it there because there's blocks underneath it. If I put it there, then I won't be able to walk through here. So I guess the only place I can put it is if I go for... Let's think about this. We'll go for a catwalk, a half catwalk, which will look like that. And then I go for one of those tiny little graded staircases like so. And then I can actually get down here and access in between these assemblers. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to do that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing for the other side. So it looks like... Oh yeah, we'll be able to have this... Let's get rid of this. Put in another one of these. Except for putting it on that side. Then let's grab our ladder. And spin that around. That's weird. I wonder why I couldn't place that. But of course, this is going to be the problem. How am I going to stop myself from falling down there? Do we have... Is there such a thing as a catwalk? With just one of these? So do we have one with just like a little bit on it? Well, I feel like that is a little bit missing. So I could use one of these. And then just put it, like spin this around. 5-2. I could do something like that. And I guess it works. It's not really an elegant solution because I can't exit here. But it kind of works. And then it kind of doesn't. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I just leave it like this and allow myself to fall down here? Or should I go for this block here? Decisions, decisions. It is a very difficult decision. Well, at least in my eyes. I really wish they had a catwalk with just this piece here.
Energy.
The other option I've got is I can... So we can grind this down. We can put a catwalk that's upside down. So we can go like this. Grab a catwalk, put it upside down here. And then put a railing on top of it. But I don't know. I don't think that looks as elegant as maybe this does. Putting in one of these. And even this doesn't really look elegant, so yeah. Like I said, too much time spending on the nitty-gritty details, but yeah, that's just how I do things. Okay, let's get all of these pipes done. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I would like to get the yield modules done. So I'm going to go away and do that, but that's going to take me a little while. That's for sure. Okay, so all of my yield modules are now done. So as you can see, I've got 4 on the back of each of these refineries. Now I believe it is time to get this pipe work done, and then we can get the rest of the room done, if there is time, of course. Now, where am I going to grab the materials for these? I've kind of blocked off a lot of my access points, so it's going to be a little bit tricky. This is pretty much the only point where I can access cargo in this room, which is a bit of a shame, but I guess once everything is kind of done, it won't really matter too much. So, alright, let's get these pipes done. Okay, and there we go. So I have all of the pipe work done for all of these refineries. Is a bit of a shame that there isn't a railing here for these, but what I'm going to do is turn on these refineries here, the ones at the front. That's interesting. All of these lights here are red. I wonder, if I turn these on, will those lights then turn green? Whoa. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that's pretty cool. That is very cool. So, this refinery is going. So is this one. Is this one going? Let's have a look. Inventory. No. There is no ore in that one, and it is not going. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly go away and make sure that the ore is evenly distributed across these refineries, because I want them all to be working. And maybe, nah, we'll decommission the old ones in the next episode. In this episode, I kind of want to, focus on this room. Okay, so what I ended up doing was removing all of the ore from every single refinery, putting it back into my cargo system, turning them all off, and then turning them back on again and letting them automatically pull all of the ore out. And they are kind of evenly distributed. Yeah, I know. I kind of get sidetracked with this stuff, but yeah, these this refinery here, and was it that, just that one? Yeah, and this one here are kind of a little bit out of whack, but that's alright. I think that is about as even as they're gonna get. So yeah, it's a little bit more even than what they were before. And I did actually go ahead and turn off the ones in the hangar, so yeah, that's all good. Alright, I won't worry about the assemblers for the moment because I'm not really using them. What I do really want to worry about though is these lights and everything else. The question is, what do I really want to do here? So, alright, let's think about this kind of logically. So, I'll probably want to... well, I want to, and what I want to do is not actually always possible. So, let's withdraw a whole bunch of steel plates. Okay, now where was I? What I was trying to say was, logically, I would want to put probably a whole bunch of these beam blocks in the middle. These ones here. And then perhaps a bunch of beam blocks here. Or maybe even here. So there, and then possibly there. So we've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we got 1, 2. Until we get to the wall. Wait, what? Why will it let me put one there? Oh, so we have 1, 2, 3 there as well. Okay. So I could put some beam blocks there, which would allow me to put the lights here, where I wanted to put them. Or we could go maybe something like we could put them, let's see, we could put our beam blocks here and then we'll go to the other side here and no, we can't put them there. I can't because the pipes are in the way. So that's a bust. So the only other place I could really put them, apart from in the middle, is maybe, well, what, here and here? Which is not really fantastic. 1, 2. I could put them there and there, which is not great either. Right, so I think I'm gonna go with one, two. We have 1, 2, 3. Either way, it sucks. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yep, either way it really does suck. Alright, well, I think that's going to be the best looking of these solutions. Beyond that, there's not really too much I can do. So I can put lights here and then maybe lights here and here. Either way, it's really just going to not work out that well. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to put, probably going to go for, where is the block? One of these. Go for a 2x1 base. So let's put that down. Yeah, so we're going to have to go for that. Maybe we put it there. See, that's 2 blocks from the edge. I don't know. I'm really not sure about this. I feel like that is a little bit better. But again, I'm really not sure. Because I feel like then we can move these lights outwards. And then we reduce the radius of them. And then maybe that will work a little bit better. Yeah, honestly, I think that is something I'm really going to need to play with. But what I would like to do... Okay, so... Seeing as though we have our interior lights here, I'm going to probably rename all of these, and I want to adjust the radius of them and then put some lights underneath here, and then I think from there I can kind of formulate my opinion on where I want to put these beam blocks and bits and pieces like that. Well, this kind of gives an interesting perspective on this room. So I've gone ahead and I've deleted all the lights on the roof because, yeah, honestly, trying to rename them with the, what do you call this system where you rock up to, yeah, build vision. Trying to rename them with that is just really, 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 really painful, especially when you have so many blocks to rename. So I thought I would just kind of grind them back and then, you know, weld them up later. But yeah, as you can see, there is, yeah, an interesting aesthetic going on here. So I'm going to take this opportunity to go ahead, and I believe what I want to do from this point is walk all the way to the end of the room, and I am going to add in some lights, probably about at this point here. So let's go for these lights here. I'm gonna go for corner lights. Yeah, double corner lights. So we'll start here behind this staircase. We'll go one block behind that. Why will it not let me? Yep, there we go. Go one block further from that. Then we'll go one block further from that, and so on and so forth. And I think from here we will be able to kind of figure out an aesthetic here. Alright, so let's go ahead and rename those. I need to rename the roof lights as well, but yeah, we'll do all of that. Alright, so I have all of my corner catwalk lights welded up. As you can see, I've placed one every other block. So every 2 blocks I've placed one of these things. And I think we have a fair bit of saturation on this side. On this side, obviously, we are lacking. And I would really like to highlight the detail of these assemblers a little bit. So I'm taking a little bit of a reverse approach. Normally I would go for the roof lights first, and then I would configure these accent lights afterwards. But let's have a look. So we have our catwalk accent lights here. Let us mess around with the radius here. So we're going to go for 6 meters to start off with and see how things look. Yeah, not too bad. What I would like to do is kind of lower the light down and spread it out further. So one way that we can do that without actually moving the lights themselves is, let's have a look. So catwalk light, accent lights. So we can set the offset to about 2.5. We can do that, and then we can set the radius to be about 7.25. So that should even it out just a little bit further than what we had before. And we can even do that a little bit further. So let's find our catwalk accent lights here again. Let's have a look here. So our offset is 2.5. Let's go for 3.25, and then we will add 1.25 meters to this, which shall be 8.5 meters for our radius. And then, yeah, we have a little bit more of an even light distribution. I could probably make it a little bit more even again. So we could even go for... I hope this makes sense. It makes perfect sense to me. But maybe for other people it does not. So we could go 4.5. And then we could add 8.25 to this, which would be 9.75 for the radius. And we could do that, and then we could see what that looks like. Yeah. Honestly, I think that looks a little bit more even, if I do not say so myself. Okay, so now from this point I need to weld up the roof lights, make sure that they are renamed before I weld them up, and then we can configure those.
Energy.
Alright, so now I have all of my roof lights done. They're pretty much in the same position as they were before, except now they are renamed, so I can actually find them in the menu. So let's go ahead and mess around with these and see what we can do with the aesthetic of this room. Alright, so I'm going to select all of these roof lights. As you can see, I've already renamed them so I can actually find them in the menu. Let's set the radius of these to 10 meters, for example. The fall off shall be 2, as it is usually. The intensity shall be 1.2, because I don't really want it to be that strong. Offset, I'm going to set to 0 for now. And let's just see how everything looks. Well, yeah, it's not quite, if we have a comparison against each of these rooms, it's not really quite what I want. You know, I think the radius is good. I think what I need to do is lower the light source down to about this level so that it kind of reaches the same aesthetic as what this room does. So let's see what happens when I actually do that. So let's select these lights again. So production room, roof light, 1 through 16. Now let us set the offset to 2.5, so move it down by 1 block. This is a little bit brighter than what I would like. Let us try and do, so production. Let's maybe try 1.25. So what have we got? Offset 1.25. See what that looks like. Yeah, it looks a little bit nicer. I kind of want to get the aesthetic looking the same. And it kind of does, and it kind of doesn't. So, alright. Let's try this. Let's find these lights again. And let us move them back down to 2.5. No, I'm not going to mess with the intensity. 2.5. And let's then reduce the radius down to, what is 1.25 minus that? So that's 8.25. So let's do that. Yeah, now I think we're getting somewhere. Now I think that actually looks half decent. Oof. It is kind of... Alright, let's maybe move it down just a little bit further. Alright, so production, because I don't know if I really want too much, you know, like too much blue on the side of those assemblers over there. So let us the fall off radius offset. Let's change the offset to 3.25 maybe. And let's see how that goes. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. So we have a little bit of white light on there. And then we have our blue light here. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we might dial down the intensity of these lights here in the middle. But, you know, I think so far I have a really good thing going on here. Well, not a really good thing, but, you know, we're on the right track at least. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there for this episode. I think I have achieved quite a lot for this episode. Yeah, as usual, let me know what you guys think of the progress I have made in this episode and what I should do with this roof here. I would like your guys' opinion on that one, but yeah. Anyway, guys, really hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you next time. Alright, guys, I'll see you then.